Today we are looking at the best duos for Classic WoW Hardcore. This will be aimed at the upcoming Hardcore servers on Classic era, and will be based on class synergy, how well they work with each other, and also speed. In a fresh environment, a lot of people want to level up as fast as possible, and especially on hardcore servers where you only have one life, being in a duo is actually incredibly beneficial. By being in a duo instead of playing solo, you can suddenly do more quests by not skipping quests because they are slightly too dangerous, and you can also start new zones earlier, which can give you a head start over other people. So let's take a look at some duos, and to do this I will be highlighting 4 different duo setups in a top 3 styles for each faction, and the reason why I'm giving you 4 is that 1 is alliance specific and 1 is horde specific. This way we have 3 duo setups for both factions. Another thing to keep in mind is that in order to duo effectively from the start, you should play classes that start in the same starting zone, or at least close to each other, so you can meet up somewhere natural. So for example, a druid and a warlock would be kind of weird, because for alliance you would then have to meet in Darkshore at level 10 or something. So let's get into it. Number 1, Hunter plus Feral, mainly for speed. This duo setup is actually insane for a lot of different reasons. The main reason why is that you get both movement speed increases around level 20, I believe for Feral Druids. By speccing into Feline Swiftness you get it at level 21 or 22, so by having this duo you are naturally playing 2 classes that both have movement speed increases way before the other players. This might not sound insane, but it really is, because walking and moving around takes a lot of your time during the leveling process, so a movement speed increase matters way more than you might think in terms of how fast you level up. You also have the perfect setup by having a tank, a DPS, and a healer all in one. The Hunter pet can act as a tank, the Hunter itself can DPS, and the Druid will be a hybrid between healing and DPSing. Mostly DPSing and using free cast procs to heal the Hunter pet when necessary, or heal himself or even the Hunter. Essentially, you're a Hunter with 2 pets where one pet deals even more damage and can also heal. It's an absolutely insane setup. Another really good thing about this setup is that on a fresh server, tagging mobs is important. Hunters are okay at tagging because you are ranged and you can auto-shot or use arcane shot, but still, that has a travel time. Moonfire on the other hand is instant, and a skilled druid can use Moonfire to get any tag he wants. This will give you a huge advantage in a competitive environment for mobs. A couple more things worth noting: druids can use Thorns on Hunter pet to deal even more damage. If shit hits the fan, you have access to ice traps and root, and you can then just run away. Permanent slows with concussive shots is also pretty big. You can taunt juggle to kite any mobs between the 2 of you, which is really useful when killing for example elite mobs. Hunters can use distracting shot to taunt a mob while keeping him slowed with concussive shot. Druids can use his taunt while running away and then use Moonfire. You can even use Nature's Grasp to then trigger a root effect as well, and then you have the Hunter pet taunt to take aggro back, and then just go back to Hunter distracting shot. It's the perfect taunt juggle strategy. Having access to entangling roots, you can also effectively solo any elite mob you want, because druids can actually root mobs to death by rooting, then outranging the mob and keep that up. It is not efficient, but it works. You also have the fact that both Hunters and Feral Druids are not exactly gear dependent, nor mana dependent, meaning you can pump damage 24/7 without ever running out of mana, and you don't have to do specific quests or dungeons for big weapon upgrades. This gives you a very effective leveling duo with very minimal downtime. Number 2, Paladin plus Rogue, mainly for synergy, slightly for speed. This duo is actually incredibly well synced, both for synergy, speed and effectiveness. As a matter of fact, I believe this was the duo that got world first level 60s in Season of Mastery. Feel free to correct me on that if I happen to be wrong, but I believe I'm right. Paladins have access to Bubble, Healing, Blessing of Protection, Blessing of Freedom. They are the perfect support class while still pumping kind of insane damage. By playing this duo, you're playing on speed all the way. Paladin is currently in the very top for speed leveling, level 1 to level 20, and the Rogue is at the same point as well. In addition, Rogues keep getting better and better, so when the Paladin slows down at level 20, Rogues simply keep getting faster. The only downside to being a rogue is that you want to pull more mobs around your adrenaline rush and blade flurry, in which case survival becomes an issue due to lack of self-healing. That is where the Paladin comes in, dealing additional damage by being retribution obviously, but also healing himself and the rogue when necessary. You also get Blessing of Might at a very early level, increasing both the Paladin and the Rogue's attack power, making you even faster during the early levels where you're already fast. Having access to Sap, you can also keep crowd control very well, and having Hammer of Justice, Cheap Shot, Kidney Shot and Gouge, you have a lot of additional mid-combat CC at your disposal when necessary. Paladins can also taunt and take advantage of their mail/plate gear to take less physical damage, which also gives the rogue the ability to use his ambush and backstab abilities, taking full advantage of both classes' toolkits. Another added factor here is Paladins getting a free mount at level 40, so you can trade gold from the Paladin to the rogue so both can have their mount at level 40. Next up, Shaman plus Warrior for synergy. Since the previous duo was specific towards the alliance by involving a Paladin, let's add one for the Horde as well. Shaman and Warrior works incredibly well by doing exactly what the Paladin and Rogue is doing. Warriors can pump out a lot of damage, but there is one very obvious downside. They don't really have any self-healing. Their rage generation is built around damage dealt and damage taken, and as long as they have rage, they can pump out a lot of damage. By having access to a healer, or at least a class with healing abilities, the Warrior can make bigger pulls, taking more damage, getting more rage, and in turn dealing more damage. The Shaman can also help to deal damage as well, while keeping the Warrior alive and healing when necessary. As you progress through the levels, you get access to key abilities helping you both, like for example Wind Fury Totem. This one is absolutely massive and will increase your damage output drastically. Stone Claw Totems if you want a totem that functions like a target dummy, and this one can be used in any scenario, but especially as a survivability ability, so you can drop this down, mobs will attack it, and you can run away. Earthbound Totem, Earthbind Totem, to slow down enemies, the Shaman having access to Poison Cleansing, Purge, and totems to remove fear and other CC abilities is also huge in this setup. The Shaman basically works as a support for the Warrior, but you can still do your typical Shaman stuff. You just fulfill each other incredibly well, and where the Warrior is weak, the Shaman is strong, and where the Shaman is weak, the Warrior is strong. So, the last duo for today, Warlock plus Priest for synergy and efficiency. This is a duo you've probably heard about before, and it's the duo I am looking to go with for the launch of hardcore servers. This duo works incredibly well and is so well synergized. As a Warlock, you use mana as a resource to pump out damage, but eventually you run out of mana. That being said, as a Warlock you have access to Life Tap, which drains you of health, but gives you mana, basically converting health to mana, but this makes you low on health in return, right? By having a priest next to you 24/7, you can fully take advantage of life taps while having a priest heal you, allowing maximum Warlock pumpage. What really makes this duo great is the amount of damage over time so you can pump onto targets, pull mobs onto you with Shadow Word Pain, Corruption, Curse of Agony, and even Immolate if you have it, or have access to standing still and casting it, right? As you level up more, the Warlock gets access to Siphon Life, another damage over time, so once all the mobs get to you, the Priest can then use Psychic Scream, or the Warlock can even use an AoE Fear himself, or you can Fear one by one. You can pull so many mobs with this duo back to back, and watch them melt by damage over time effect, and by constantly killing mobs you will also have 100% uptime on the Priest's Spirit Tap functionality, which gives him increased mana regen, allowing for little to no downtime whatsoever. And there it is, the top 3 hardcore leveling duos for each faction. I also want to say at the end of this video that I've made and published a gold making guide for hardcore servers. For those of you who want to min-max your gold making game, it even includes farms to do while leveling to guarantee you get that mount at level 40, and it will drastically help you out massively towards getting that epic mount at level 60 as well. You can check it out through the link down below. Now if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below what your favorite duo is in hardcore. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.